recorded.
I'm here.
I'll start all over, just because I forgot to press record. We're out of practice. It's been like a month at a meeting. So give me a break here. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this regular meeting of the Vader City Council, January 12th, 2023. Time is 6:04 p.m. Roll call.
Randy Hall.
Here.
Jason Daly.
Here.
Ian McIntosh. Here. Michael Ferguson.
Mike did get a hold of City Hall and myself. He said he's attending one of his children's functions right now, and he may try to call in later.
Mike Parson.
Here.
Peter Scott.
Also here. Have a quorum. Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag
of the United
States
States
of America, which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor's report. Reminder, the planning committee still has a couple of vacancies, and interested candidates should contact City Hall or myself. So be spreading the word to your neighbors that they can volunteer that way. A lot of you may know the Worden Park. There was some vandalism on the Christmas display down there in front of the jail. They were identified as youth. Thank you to those people in the city that helped us find those kids, and law enforcement's involved, and they're following up. The solid waste collection, we've had no major issues with the providers. Switch to LeMay. Remind your neighbors to sign up. I think the first week, didn't they not get down to I don't think they got down to the wastewater plant. So
Yeah, we resolved.
they resolved that and they got down there. So just trying to find all the little nooks and crannies here in town for them to pick up trash. So cellular tower. So as most of you should know, US Cellular does have a tower based up at the water treatment plant, and the city maintains the contract with that. They want to renew that contract for another, I think it was until 2033 or even longer than that. And so we're working with the attorney on that to get that contract finalized, and they're going to pay for those fees to get for the contract. So that should be coming soon. The city was awarded another grant for Annanen Road chip seal from Highway 506 there at Little Crane all the way north to the city limits, in the amount of $36,597. That work will be done during the summer. City planner, so our longtime planner, Gary Cooper, with Local Planning Solutions. He took a full-time job with the city of Yelm, and so he no longer is providing planning services. But we instantly went on the look for a new one, and later on in the city business, you'll see our recommendation for a new planner. And city clerk treasurer, Diane Floyd, is retiring. Thank you so much for your years of service. And we've been advertising for a replacement clerk. And so again, later on in the meeting, we've got more information about that. It seems like there was something else I want to talk about, but I reserve the right to do more reporting later on in the meeting. Any council members have anything to report?
Yes, I do. On the AUDs and the little travel trailers and all, we need a specific form for that, not a building permit, because nobody's building anything, especially if they already have it. So we need a form, I guess, from the lawyer that's more specific, because that's just a lawsuit waiting to happen. We're trying to do the builder's permit for that.
Okay.
If you're not building it, it's just
But
wrong.
but an RV or a trailer is not permitted as an ADU.
I'm just saying, which we have, if they already have a little building for the AUD, why are you trying to get them to sign a building permit when they need a contract that says specifically for an AUD?
Okay, we can look into that. I mean, you're right, we probably have just a generic form for building permits. Probably doesn't say anything about
Right.
ADUs on there, so once again, we only just passed the ADU legislation back in September,
Mhm.
and so the fact that we don't have a form for it, not surprising.
Right.
Okay.
Why is the price so high?
What was the
$150.
$150?
Yeah.
$150, that's our plat fee. It's based on two different things. First, city clerk time.
Mhm.
Also, that covers one inspection. Usually I think that's about the cost of one inspection from our inspector.
Mhm.
So the idea is that, that fee would get pushed back on the applicant. So the
Right.
city hall wouldn't lose money.
And for how long is it good for?
I don't have the details off the top of my head. I have to read that.
Okay.
So, but I know the ADU code is only 2 pages long. It's not crazy long.
Right.
I just looked at it today for different reasons. And then,
I didn't. don't
but the
remember
permit, I think the
seeing it.
permit was for a year. I think the permit's for a year. I don't know
remember
if,
seeing
I don't know if
it.
it'd be another $150 every year. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Right.
So.
Okay, that was all.
Other council reports? Let's ask. Jason, do you have anything to report?
Not at this time.
Okay. Moving on to agenda approval.
Make a motion that we approve the city council agenda for January 12th, 2023.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the agenda as written. Do we have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Ms. McIntosh. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve the city council meeting minutes for December 8th, 2022.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the meeting minutes from December 8th, 2022. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Voucher approval.
Make a motion that we approve vouchers extended December 2022, $191,531.75 for a December total of $320,236.16, and also the beginning of January 2023 at $70,402.67.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the vouchers as stated. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mr. Hall. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Reports, Lewis County Sheriff's Department.
Good evening. For the month of December, there were a total of 207 citizen contacts, 18 service calls, 4 of which were when a deputy was dedicated to the city of Vader, 14 traffic stops resulting in 3 infractions and 1 criminal citation, and 1 misdemeanor arrest for a warrant. You're already aware of the damage at Worden Park. The individuals have an identified, 2 individuals who were participating have been identified. Their probation officers have been notified, and it's in the prosecutor's desk right now.
They were on probation already?
Juvenile probation, yes,
Nice.
in Calhoun County.
Upstanding citizens. I like it.
They were visitors.
They were
More
visitors.
than 2 involved, right?
2 of the 3, there was 3 there. One of them you can see in the video, but they really didn't do anything. They were just there. That third person I have not been able to identify yet. I've been told it's the girlfriend of one of the other 2. But I'm still working on, but it's not as concerning when you can see that they were just, oh great, what's going on? What are these people doing?
She was not a willing
She was
participant.
not a willing participant. She did
Yes.
not just do any damage, so.
And then as far as like the damage goes, Parks Board Chair put together a list of the damages and the projected costs of that, and replacement costs, and that's been forwarded to the sheriff's department so that they could work that into whatever happens. So,
And thank you, Kelly, for taking care of that.
Oh.
Appreciate it. And again, that's all been handed with the case to the prosecutors. They have all the information.
there we go.
Thank
So
you.
when they found a girl and since she wasn't involved, they could do community service around here for, for being bad.
I saw the video. She wasn't bad. She was, she was like, oh, this, she stayed away. But she,
Apparently not far.
Very,
Well,
very good, very good.
Yeah.
So.
so. All right. We lost Mr. Daly from the meeting, so hopefully he'll be back. All right, moving on to city business. Council to consider Rogland's construction pay request for $16,227.84. As you can see, we're wrapping up the estimated project cost. There is, unrelated to this, there is one more change order coming. I can't remember how much it was. It was in the $1,000 range. There he is, Jason's back. Related to clearing the trees down there. I think we've talked about the trees before down there, that they needed to come down and cut some of the trees off around the edge, and so they didn't hit the buildings. And so there is that change order coming. But for the most part, most of the major stuff's done. So.
So I make a motion that we pay the requested $16,227.84 for Rogland.
A motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the Rogland's pay request. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mr. Hall. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 2, council to consider resolution 01-2023, Gary Stamper Memorial Overlook at Rife Lake. So I believe, well, the resolution itself should have all the explanation you need. Anyone that's been around long enough knows that Gary was extremely dedicated to not only the region that he represented, but also his local community out in eastern Lewis County, with the school and everything else. And so the Lewis County commissioners have putting together a movement to name the overlook at Rife Lake after Mr. Stamper. And so they're asking that all the cities that are willing pass the resolution and forward it to them, and then they can put their proposal together for the state. So
I make a motion that we approve resolution 01-2023, the Gary Stamper Memorial Overlook at Rife Lake.
Mr. Parsons has made a motion to approve resolution 01-2023 for the Gary Stamper Memorial. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mr. Hall. Any discussion?
Something else, Bill, because I city, a little town sacrificed itself, and they helped make that dam. So when I take any put him somewhere else. Make something new and put his name on it.
Well, that's one point of view. I know that there was a town that was flooded in order to create that lake back in the 50s or 60s, I think. So,
About 40 years ago.
but I think he had something. Didn't Gary had something to do? I don't know if that's actually in this resolution.
Yeah, he spearheaded the project to clear
the tree, so there could be an overlook.
So it was his effort to make the overlook to begin with. So now they want to name it after him. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving resolution 01-2023, the Gary Stamper Memorial Overlook at Rife Lake, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Moving on to item number 3, council to confirm new Vader City Clerk Treasurer Lisa Huckleberry. In your packet is the offer letter that was presented to Ms. Huckleberry. She was unfortunately unable to be with us tonight. She had previous obligations. Obviously, when she got hired, she didn't know that she would need to be come to a council meeting on Thursday night. Not that it's required to be here, but I know that everyone likes to meet the employees ahead of time, but she did have some previous commitments. But Ms. Huckleberry is currently employed by Cowlitz County. She's had numerous years of experience working in the clerk's office there under the former lead clerk of the county, and so much experience with government in that way. Working with elected officials, she worked firsthand with the county commissioners down there. On all manner of subject, whether it's training or travel or all that kind of stuff. She also has had previous experience with budgeting and accounting. Really all around a pretty excellent candidate that applied for us, and also very delightful to talk to. Really likable person. So I have. She's a Huckleberry, yeah. So, once again, and I have no question that she'd make a great member of the team.
Why is she coming down here?
Why is she coming here?
Yeah.
Well, she actually she lives halfway between here and there, so this is about the same distance driving. And so,
Just curious.
I'll make a motion that we confirm the new Vader City Clerk, Lisa Huckleberry.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to confirm Lisa Huckleberry as the new city clerk. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Hall. Discussion. I'm not sure if I should talk about her personal business as to why she wants to
So I just went,
leave her employer, but
I think it's because we're so awesome.
that's why.
that works.
You could ask her yourself. Any other?
Just being nosy.
I know.
That's my job.
And I was trying to be respectful to her personal business. I don't know if it's a big secret, but it's not my
But
place to.
secret to give.
But it's not my place to say. So, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Huckleberry starts, well, we should see it on offer letter Tuesday next week after the Monday holiday. And then Diane has been gracious enough to offer her services to help train Ms. Huckleberry in city procedures. So there'll be some overlap there. Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 4, council to consider resolution 02-2023 on-call engineering services agreement. Our agreement with our current engineer, Morissette, had expired at the end of the year. And so this is the same agreement, well, different agreement, same engineering firm, just renewing it for another handful of years. Steve Willie has been a representative with our engineering firm. He's an absolutely incredible engineer. Wouldn't have no reservations at all asking council to renew this agreement.
Make a motion to approve the resolution 02-2023 2023 to approve the on-call engineering services agreement.
We have a motion by Mr. Hall to approve resolution 02-2023 for the on-call engineering services agreement. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Parsons. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of resolution 02-2023 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 5, council to consider resolution 03-2023, the consultant services agreement for planning. As I stated earlier in the meeting, Gary Cooper with Local Planning Solutions did terminate his agreement with the city of Vader, no longer performing planning services for us. We do need to have a replacement planner. Mr. Cooper formerly worked with SCJ Alliance. When he went out on his own to start his own business, he took the city of Vader business with him. And so we reached out to SCJ Alliance to see if they were interested in representing the city again, as they did in the past. Fun fact, SCJ Alliance represents Castle Rock as their city planners as well. And so they have experience in the local area. We had a conference call with the two planners that would represent us. Very enthusiastic and exciting ladies that would represent us. Excited to see what they would do for the city. Once again, I hope council would approve them for planning services. And we need them. We have a meeting coming up with a subdivision developer next week. And so we really need a planner to represent us. So once again, and also these agreements are not for, they're agreements, not necessarily contracts. So we're not under contract with them. And so if for any reason we didn't like them, we could just start using a different planner. So
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 03-2023.
a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve resolution 03-2023 for consultant services agreement for planning. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Hall. Any other discussion, or do you just want me to quit talking about things, Mike?
Just then you hyped up again.
I got stuff to say. It's been a month.
Yep.
Any other discussion about SCJ Alliance? No? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Last but not least, probably the least exciting thing on the agenda, ordinance 2023-01, the compost procurement policy. So if you look in your packet, if you haven't looked at it before, there's a agenda bill that talks about why the city of Vader would be interested in having a compost procurement policy. And paragraph 2 says it all. State House Bill 1799 requires cities to adopt a procurement ordinance for compost. There it is. The state is requiring cities to have a procurement policy for compost. So you can read ahead if you'd like. So not my invention.
So where's this glorious thing going to be put?
We have to have a policy. We don't actually have to do anything. One of those things.
The garbage service going to be composted?
Right, so we've got, LeMay does offer an optional yard services, yard debris collection service. If you look at what the services they offer, it's optional, you can pay for it. And so, if they collected it from you, then LeMay would then have to do whatever the law requires them to do with your yard waste, which would be composted in some fashion.
So that would be our compost thingy.
Yeah.
Bunch of gooey.
Ordinance 2023-01, compost procurement policy.
We have a motion by Mr. Paul to approve ordinance 23-01, the compost procurement policy. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Daly. Discussion. Are we thinking about making a stand?
No,
So kind of sad, like, really.
Yeah,
unfortunately, but I don't have to vote for it because I think it's stupid, but that's okay.
Didn't we, that meant that we get to improve the nerve for the doc.
We got him. You voted for him. I got some,
You're
it
impatient.
might be a little late, but I've got some coffee here, Randy.
Yeah. I had some before I came, that's all.
No worries. We're keeping track. Wouldn't put it past me though. Further discussion about the composting ordinance. All right, hearing none. All those in favor of approving ordinance 23-01 compost procurement policy, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Oh, there's a tie.
What an agree- Oh my God. I know. Some of them have-
This is a first. So I believe when there is a tie among the city council, as long as it does not involve finance, right? Because that would be a conflict because the mayor spends money that you authorize. I could not vote for that. But for this, I don't think there's anything financial related to it. I think I can vote for that. I'll double check with that. So I will vote in favor of composting because I love it. We'll verify that, that's all on the up and up. So,
I agree. We compost our own stuff.
Yeah, that's not a big.
that is
Agree with
the,
compost.
move on to public comments. Any members of the public have anything to comment on? Mr. Goff was online for a while, but he is gone now. I think composting was too much for him to handle. Any elected official comment? Meeting adjourned at 6:32 p.m.